Hey folks, it's Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Welcome to the farm vlog today. It is a beautiful June morning. Summer solstice was yesterday, and we're gonna take you through the garden here, and we're gonna give you some tips on what not to do, okay? So if you don't keep an eye on your garden this time of year, things can get out of hand. So we're gonna take you around, show you what we do to manage the garden to keep things from getting out of hand. And if you look back here, we've got gourds just going crazy everywhere. So gotta keep an eye on those gourds, gotta keep an eye on the tomatoes, gotta make sure that we're picking our squash and everything like that. So let's get in the garden here and we'll give you a couple garden tips on how to control your garden. All right? Let's show you the farm a little bit here. So you can see the fog is starting to lift. The sun is just now peeking through the clouds. Our gourds grew 2 feet, it seems like overnight. I haven't been in the garden for 2 days and our gourds grew like 2 feet overnight. We're gonna walk through the garden, we'll talk about what we're gonna do and show you a few little tips that we use to keep the garden under control, because if we don't stop this, it's gonna grow all into our tomatoes, and it's already starting to grow into our row of sunflowers over here. So let's walk through the garden a little bit and we'll show you how we control it. So the trellis system that we use here is just basically T-post with these concrete reinforcement panels, and we've got them zip tied to our T-post all the way down. And what we do with our tomatoes is when our tomatoes start growing out of hand, we just weave them through, and I'll show you. See this guy here, he's just kind of hanging down. So we'll give him a little tuck. We'll just tuck him right in there and we'll weave these guys in as they start falling down, okay? And that allows them to climb up. Now the goal here is for all these tomatoes to bush out up here in the top section of this trellis system. Let's go over to the squash. We got a rainstorm last night and it's kind of weighted down some of my squash. This is like Jurassic Park squash right here. So basically what I want to do is poke through the squash and make sure that there are no squash that need to be picked, okay? Once these squash start blooming and once they start taking off, you have got to stay on top of picking these squash. Look at that big beautiful bloom right there. That's awesome. So we got to keep a close eye, see if there's anything in here that needs to be picked. If there is, then we need to jump on it. And these squash are absolutely huge. I'm 6'5" and this squash is over my waist. Unbelievable. It's really doing well this year. So despite the size of this squash, we probably only have a couple that we can pick right now. Now again, as for our tomatoes, you see how this guy's kind of drooping off to the side. We need to get him up, get him supported, even if we have to tie a string from here up to the trellis. Now, I was walking by the garden yesterday and you can see these gourds, they'll send out little stringers right here. And those stringers will get on anything and start to climb it. And they're starting to attach themselves over here to my Goliath sunflower plants here. And we just planted these for aesthetics here in the garden, but you can see that guy right there. I'd love to do a time-lapse video to see how fast these little stringers take off. We're gonna pull him loose from here and we're gonna put him on his trellis system right here. And we planted probably too many gourds in this little area, but it'll be awesome. We'll have some cool birdhouse gourds and all sorts of fun stuff. Gourds are really fun to plant in your garden. So in case you're wondering what you're seeing here, this is just a row of sunflowers, row of gourds, tomatoes, those are beefeater tomatoes, yellow squash, zucchini squash, okra, this is golden queen corn. And throughout the squash, I've planted marigolds, okay? I planted some marigolds here, some marigolds here, in order to try and keep pests away. And this is our okra, and it was planted pretty late, so it's got to get a good start in right here. Our corn is doing absolutely awesome. Awesome stuff. So you might notice that everything in the garden is mulched. It's all mulched out through here. Pretty much all the tomatoes, all the squash, everything is mulched. And the reason it's mulched is for moisture retention and to help build the soil. I'll post a link right up here to the video about mulching. So guys, like I said, we really got to jump on this. I'll show you one more time how we support our gourds, our tomatoes, and our cucumbers really quick. This video isn't rocket science, but it'll give you some ideas on what to do in your garden, okay? So you see here, we've got some weight that's pulling down our tomato plant. We need to get that dude up and tucked in behind his little trellis right here. And basically all we're doing is tucking it in to the trellis so that it doesn't collapse. And if you stay up on this stuff, if you stay up on your garden and you keep weaving it in and out of that trellis daily, or at least every other day, you won't have the problem that I'm having right here. Now you see a few more limbs right here starting to fall off. These are the Roma tomatoes, and they're really taking off. And broke that guy off. And that's what you don't want. That's the price you pay for not watching after your garden. Sad. Okay, so here's one of our cucumber plants, and it's in trouble. And cucumbers will send out those little leads too. I forget what you call them. If you guys know what you call these guys, let me know. But that thing will go and wrap around and get a hold. You can see this one curling up right here. It'll wrap around and get a hold and take a hold of this fence right here and pull it right on up and climb. It'll look nice. These are our cucumbers right here. Down here are our green beans, and we just have to do the same thing. We have to get them up there, get them supported. And if we have to use some string to tie them up, it's okay. So when our gourds start exceeding the top of our trellis, we're just gonna give them a little bend down, and we're gonna tuck them all in. And the scoop here is we'll just pick up everything that's drawn across the ground right here and weave it through the trellis. So you see, it's a big blank spot right here. We've got plenty of gourd, so we'll just walk him right up through there and give him a new home. And these gourds will probably grow 2 feet today. Insane amount of growth. So guys, I hope this little garden video helped you out and gave you a few tips on what to do when your garden starts getting out of hand. Again, we're at summer solstice. We're in the middle of June. The garden's starting to really blossom. It loves these 85, 95 degree days, and it's just blowing up. So you've got to get on top of it. You got to take care of it. Go in the evening when it's cool, go in the morning when it's cool, and take care of your garden before it gets out of hand. And again, guys, I can't stress the importance of checking your squash and picking it daily, okay? It'll keep on the countertop, but if you keep it on the vine, it'll grow so big that you can't eat it and the seeds will get hard, and then it'll have to go to the recyclers, the chickens. All right, thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you next time on Stoney Ridge Farm. I appreciate you. Be sure and subscribe to the channel, pound that like button, and click the little bell icon down there. It'll notify you when we post a new video. All kinds of fun stuff going on here on the farm. We'll see you next time, guys. Woo!
In the land of the free and the home of the brave, I'm proud of who I am.